Now, welcome to another lightning response video where I will once again take a question from the comments and try to give it a quick and concise answer. And before getting to it this time, let me warn you, there will be spoilers for episodes 7 and 8 of Season 2 of The Bad Batch, so if you haven't seen them yet and you don't want anything ruined, you may want to click away. Okay, so this time the question comes to us from Lore, who asked, I just finished watching the 2-episode mid-season arc of The Bad Batch, spoilers ahead, but I was wondering what you would do with them going forward. I think it's clear that they aren't really the standouts of the show, despite it being theirs, and I think replacing it with an early Rebellion show, maybe starring Echo and Rex, could be pretty interesting and lore expansive, especially if it was filled with more episodes like these two. Curious to hear your thoughts. Okay, so if you've seen any of my videos discussing this season of The Bad Batch, you'll know I agree about the team itself, and I'm talking about just the main and current team members, which means I'm not including Crosshair in this. The episodes that just focus on them tend to be the least interesting part of the series. Which, as I keep saying, doesn't automatically mean they or their episodes are completely uninteresting and horrible. They oftentimes are still entertaining, only that they're usually not anything all too special. The ones featuring them, the main team, oftentimes feel more like your standard adventure of the week type show. They're a little more than a 20-some minute long self-contained story with maybe a few hints of greater significance sprinkled in, and some character development here and there. While the episodes without them, like the one with Cody and Crosshair earlier this season, or the 7th episode where the main team didn't show up at all, or the 8th where they did show up but weren't really the focus. Anyway, the episodes without them, or where they're not exactly the focus, well, they kinda usually end up being the best episodes. Which shouldn't be surprising when you consider those episodes tend to both take a step back and examine the bigger picture of what's going on in the galaxy at this point in time, while also focusing on well-known, beloved characters, again, like bringing in Cody, who we've all been dying to see. We all want to know what happened to him after Order 66. And so to be blunt about it, seeing Cody again beginning to learn what's going through his head, how he feels about the Empire, as well as hearing about other clones having doubts about what's going on and what happened to the Jedi. Well, after 7 seasons of the Clone Wars, which I'd wager most people watching The Bad Batch have seen, that's just far, far more intriguing than, the Bad Batch team wrangling a Rancor or failing to get their hands on yet another treasure. Just like I think episodes of Rex and Echo going around the galaxy, helping clones where they can, maybe coming across Gregor and Wolf, who eventually joined the team as well, all the while playing some sort of small role in the early rebellion. Yeah, that's also going to be more interesting than watching Tech pod race, even though, that was a pretty entertaining episode. And so I am left wondering right now if these 2 episodes that we just got were part of a bigger plan to, in a way, shift the focus of the show. If Echo leaving the team was done to allow them to expand the scope and scale, and expand it in a way where it can still call itself the Bad Batch, because Echo is still technically a part of the team. The same way, since Crosshair was a member of the team, and we all know their paths will cross again, it's not a stretch to say the episodes with only him and no main team still qualify as the Bad Batch because of him. And now they can do that same thing with Echo. We can get episodes of him and Rex doing, all sorts of cool things because technically Echo is or was a member of the Bad Batch. And that's not to say I think they'll entirely replace the Bad Batch. There's no way they're going to ditch Omega's story at this point, as I've talked about many times before. She is the child insert character. She is the Ahsoka or Ezra of the series, the one the kids are supposed to like and want to be like, and then they get hooked on Star Wars through them. But we can, like the Clone Wars series, which this is very much a continuation of, they haven't shied away from the fact that this is meant to carry on that story. Well, it can be more anthology style and cover more ground as we bounce around from the different teams, if you will, where we'll have the main Bad Batch team doing whatever it is they're doing with Omega. Then we move to Crosshair, who keeps us kind of up to date with what's going on with the Empire. And then we move to Cody and Rex, and maybe they're working with Bail Organa and thus keeping us up to date on what's going on with the Senate and early rebellion, which would also allow for some of the more filler-ish episodes to be trimmed, and for the show to have more focus and to be more on point, you could say. Well, that's all I got for this time. Now it's your turn to take to the comments below and tell me what you think Echo leaving the team means. Will we now get episodes of him and Rex out helping the clones, or not? Either that, or you can ask a question for a future lightning response video by starting your comment off with, "Hey Thor." Whatever the case may be though, do leave your comments below and let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.